What is going on, YouTube? I am Germ here. Today I wanted to talk all about Team Liquid for a couple of different reasons. One, I posted a video called G2 is finished last week, and that video did really well, and when stuff does well, you gotta follow up, you gotta double down. So I wanted to try it again, this time with Team Liquid, but also because I think there are a lot of different things to talk about, and a lot of different things that I do not like that are going on with Team Liquid. Now, for much of LCS history, Team Liquid was known as this team that would spend a lot of money, would get pretty solid players, but was terribly managed, was terribly coached, had terrible leadership, would seemingly get the least out of players rather than getting the most out of the players. It seemed like they were always worse than the sum of their parts. And then, you know, you had the Doublelift era where it seemed like things changed. Maybe Doublelift showed them how to win. Maybe CoreJJ showed them how to win. Maybe they showed them how to do things right, how to manage, how to lead, how to become a great team. But all of a sudden, it looks like Team Liquid is starting to show those old signs of what they used to be. So that's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Definitely drop a like if you guys did enjoy it. I would appreciate it so much. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content, and consider checking out my Patreon, patreon.com/IamGerm. If you want to receive bonus content every single week, I'd appreciate a ton. With that being said, here we go. Talking about Team Liquid. So, Team Liquid tweeted this out before their last game. You know, they're back with Alphari for their match against Golden Guardians. That's exciting. Alphari played 2 games this weekend, and that was cool to see him back. He is honestly one of my favorite players to watch in the LCS. Watching him play in Spring Split was so fun to me. I always wanted to tune in. I always wanted to see just how he was going to play, you know, getting that lane dominant top lane style where he's farming CSD, where he's breaking down the other top laner so early into the game, creating such crazy advantages. We don't see a lot of that in the LCS. We do not have a lot of lane dominant crazy players like that, and I think he's one of the best. I think he's the best laning player in the LCS, not best laning top laner, best laning player in the LCS at any position. And yeah, it's so fun to watch, and I really do like watching him play, and it sucked not being able to see him for all these past weeks. So I thought it was cool that we finally got him back once again, but again, Jenkins still played one of the games, and overall, Team Liquid had some mixed results. And coming into this last game against Golden Guardians, which I thought was pretty funny, you know, Golden Guardians had looked pretty good that weekend already. They had beat 100 Thieves. They had lost a close game to TSM. Now they're playing Team Liquid. That's a crazy tough schedule if you're GGS, but they were coming up against Team Liquid, and I thought that was going to be interesting. I talked about it a little bit. Golden Guardians had looked solid. Licorice had looked good. It would be an interesting test for Alphari. It would be an interesting test for Team Liquid, but if you just go off, you know, based off how Team Liquid Twitter looked during this game, they only had one tweet the entire game, and this was it. Near, far, wherever you are, at Tactical, and I guess we can watch it real quick. You know, Tactical's caught up in like this 4v1 in the top lane, and then CoreJJ lane turns him out on Thresh, and they all walk away. That's it. That was their one highlight that they tweeted out all game. That's 18 minutes in. The scoreboard shows it's 10-2 for Golden Guardians. They got absolutely smacked around. Alphari didn't look great. Licorice looked very good. Their game on Saturday, Jenkins didn't really look that good. And all of a sudden, I think Team Liquid is in a lot of trouble. And it depends what your expectations are for this team. Coming into this season, they have CoreJJ. They go out and sign Alphari, drop a ton of money on him. They have Jensen re-signed for the future. They grab Santorin, who in the summer split of 2020 was the best jungler in the league. Remember, this was a time where Blabber was really slumping, where Cloud9 sucked in the summer split, and Blabber was on a downtrend, and Spica didn't have that great of a year. You know, Santorin was the guy coming out of summer 2020, so there was a chance that Team Liquid was going to have the best top laner in the league, the best jungler in the league. Perkz was coming in, so he probably wouldn't have said Jensen was going to be the best mid laner. Tactical, maybe he thought he was the best AD carry, but there's Sven, there's some other guys, FBI, but potentially the best top laner, the best jungler, the best support, one of the best teams that money can buy in the LCS, and one of the best teams that could possibly be formed in the LCS with import restrictions and all that. One of the best native players in Tactical. Their team looks solid. Their team looks so good. And obviously, if they're looking to spend all this money, all the money on CoreJJ, all the money on Alphari, all the money on Jensen, Team Liquid wanted to compete for titles. They want to go to Worlds, but not just go to Worlds. They want to do something at Worlds. They want to accomplish something. They want to get out of groups. They want to potentially make a semifinal or something like that. And Spring Split, you know, whatever. They came up a little bit short. They lose in Game 5 to Cloud9, but then Cloud9 goes on and looks pretty good at MSI. So all of a sudden, it's still like, if TL can just gather some of this momentum from spring, if they can just get a little bit better into summer, if they're like on the same level as Cloud9 and Cloud9's beating Damwon and Cloud9's beating RNG, Team Liquid can be pretty damn good as well. But man, how far has Team Liquid fallen so fast? Obviously, we're going to say that there was a lot of issues, surrounding Jat. Maybe he lost control of the team. Maybe he wasn't a great coach. Maybe he wasn't a great leader. Obviously, that seems to be a lot of the back and forth between him and Alphari. But now, all of a sudden, we're still getting a lot of these same weird things going on. We have this weird 6-man rotation with Jenkins and Alphari coming in. Remember, we don't know when Santorin's coming back. Armao is the jungler right now. Armao and Alphari have not had a lot of time together. They did not play with each other in Academy. Alphari never played in Academy. Alphari played with Armao for like a week or two in the spring playoffs. And then he's been, Alphari hasn't been scrimming with the team or anything. He's been sitting out, and now he's coming back and splitting times with Jenkins. So, like, Alphari and Armao have almost no synergy whatsoever at all. So, if Santorin ever does come back, yeah, Santorin and Alphari know how to play together pretty well, but Alphari's looked really bad when Armao has been, or not always really bad, but for the most part, he's looked pretty bad when Armao has been his jungler, and they don't really play around each other well. And it seems like the key to that would be getting them as much synergy as possible, getting as many scrim games as possible, getting as many stage games as possible. It's just so crazy looking back to this offseason, all these hype signings, how excited I and so many LCS fans were for Team Liquid. Even after spring split, they came up a little bit short, but still looking good. How far things have fallen so fast. I mean, if you take a look at the esports, the LCS standings right now on LOEsports.com, Team Liquid is tied for 3rd. Evil Geniuses has the best record in summer. They're behind 100 Thieves. They're behind TSM. Again, tied with Evil Geniuses, who has the best record in summer. And then Cloud9 as well, who is, are people saying that Cloud9 is worse than Team Liquid right now? I don't think a lot of people are saying that. So there is a legitimate case to be made for Team Liquid being the 5th best team in the LCS right now. And even if maybe you say they're better than Evil Geniuses, or maybe you want to say they're better than TSM or Cloud9 or whatever, come playoff time, they are at risk of not even making Worlds. They're at risk of not even getting 4th. They are at risk of, after spending all this money, having all this talent, having some of the best players in like all the positions in the LCS, it's not a talent issue. I mean, yeah, with Santorin and Armao coming back and forth, whatever, that's been a crazy situation. But man, I get it. The Alphari situation was crazy. Maybe it was unavoidable. Who really knows? But all of a sudden, it's looking like Team Liquid management, coaching staff, leadership, Steve from all the way at the top and Steve all the way down is struggling, is failing. And man, I know they're going to go out and spend a bunch of money again this offseason. They're probably going to get a new jungler. Maybe they'll look at a new AD carry. Who knows what's going to happen? But at least for this season, it's looking like TL might be finished. I think it's crazy to say because, again, this team is so talented. But, it's looking more and more likely that this team will not even be attending the 2021 World Championships. And that is such a fall from grace so fast. Really disappointed to see. I hope Team Liquid can get it together, but man, their management, their leadership, everything needs to step up. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I'd appreciate it so much. Leave a comment down below. Do you think Team Liquid is going to Worlds in 2021? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe to stay up to date on my latest content. Consider checking out my Patreon. I would appreciate it so much if you guys want to receive bonus exclusive content every single week. Hopefully catch y'all in the next one. But until then, peace!